Every single year around this time, after a long summer of eating healthy and losing weight, I'm confronted with this dilemma. Every October, you encounter this wall of candy in preparation for Halloween. Almost all the candy that's ever existed just magically appears in every store that you go to. Do you resist as long as you can before the holiday gorging begins? Or do you just buy all the candy in the store and you make a video on the best multi-pack of candy that you're gonna buy so that you're not the one house that every kid avoids for having the worst candy on Halloween? So let's just jump right into it. Now you got different style of candies. You got hard candies, lollipops, Jolly Ranchers, stuff like that. You got soft and chewy things like Starbursts and Twizzlers, chocolatey bars like Snickers and Milky Ways, sour things like Sour Patch Kids. But for trick-or-treating, you need to get a multitude of candies. You never want to be the family that has just Snickers. That's no fun. If it was up to me, I'd get every bag in the store, throw it in a bucket, and say have fun. But that gets crazy expensive and sometimes unnecessary. Maybe you want to go for a certain vibe. Now there's just far too much candy to buy all of it and judge it. So I'm gonna do some elimination right off the bat of things I just know I just don't want to serve. And that's gonna be any kind of hard candy, any lollipops, any blow pops, things like that. I don't know anybody who sucks on a lollipop today. So I'm gonna call those unnecessary. Skittles are good, but I'm avoiding single packs of candy. Then we're gonna move into like the soft and the chewy things. And I like Sour Patch Kids, I like Twizzlers, but I don't like the Jolly Rancher here. It's a lollipop. And it's just overall not a strong enough pack to justify buying two candies I don't like in it. Again, I like a Starburst, but I'm gonna look for one in a multi-pack. These trolleys are nice and sour, but I'm looking for like a Sour Patch Kid multi-pack, so I'm gonna leave that. Then we get into the chocolates. And immediately I'm attracted to things with Reese's and Kit Kats in them. But not all Reese's and Kit Kats are created equally in these packages, and that's something we'll find out later. And if I see a Reese's that isn't in the shape of a cup, it immediately gets rejected. This bag right here is a solid lineup, and I'm definitely grabbing this. This is another great bag, but there is one major concern I have with it I'll share later. I've always liked these small Hershey's chocolates, so I'm gonna grab those, and this mix of Twix, Snickers, and Milky Way. That's a nice little bag right there. I like this Twizzlers, Sour Patch, Reese's, Kit Kat mix. That's a nice mix that kind of covers some bases of mine. But Hershey's Fangs, York pumpkin-shaped patties, Reese's Ghosts and Pumpkins, get out of here with this. Then we got another Reese's Kit Kat combo with a bunch of other stuff. That's some are good, some are kind of questionable. We're gonna give it a shot. Again, avoiding any single candy bags, and just Almond Joys are my nightmare, so just get them away from me. Glow-in-the-dark wrappers, who needs them? The candy's going into a bag, and then you're eating it in a lit room. Junior Mints, I've had a little bit of a traumatic incident with Junior Mints, and so I can never eat them again. I already got a bag that covers M&Ms, so I don't need these M&Ms. This is just too much M&Ms. And again, with these Kit Kats, with the green chocolate and the Witch's Brew with the marshmallow flavor, get out of here. Give me a regular Kit Kat. And again, with the Reese's Bats, no good. So here's what I settled on. Let's take it step by step. Now, if your rule was one piece of candy per one person, you could almost get away with one bag. This is 135 pieces. You probably won't have 135 kids, I don't know. But let's say a kid grabs a handful and you've got 5, 6 pieces in a handful, you're gonna need 3 bags. So I've got some popular assortments here. Let's start with this guy. This is a pretty solid lineup. A Baby Ruth, 100 grand, Butterfinger, and a Crunch Bar. Butterfingers are highly underrated. They're not in a lot of the bundles, so right off the bat, I'm immediately attracted to this guy. And the variety is very nice. I always want some kind of caramel treat out of the 100 grand. And if you don't know what 100 grand is, chocolate coating, caramel inside, and crunchy Rice Krispies on top. Unbelievable. I feel like it gets slept on because it doesn't have like a modernized, fun label. It looks old-timey. And so it probably gets passed on a lot, but this is a top tier candy. Maybe a little redundant to the crunch. It's basically a Crunch Bar with caramel in the center. That's a notch down for me. Butterfinger, oh man. I wanna talk about Butterfingers. The only time to get them is in fresh bags of Halloween candy because they can be stale. If you've ever had a Butterfinger that just sticks to all of your teeth, it's literally an old stale Butterfinger. They should be tender like this. When you can just bite through real tender like that, not get stuck in my teeth, it's a fresh Butterfinger. And that's why I like eating them only this time of year. Baby Ruth, classic peanuts, chocolate, and caramel. Winner. Very similar to a Snickers bar though, so we gotta keep that in mind. I think this is a winner. We're gonna hold this off to the side. Now I've got 3 bags with Kit Kats and Reese's. Here's an idea of redundancy. I really only need one of these bags. I've already got some problems with this bag. First off, you never want to get the bag with the Kit Kat has only a single. Not as good as getting the double. It's just gypped. It's half the size. It's no good. We don't like that. This bag and this bag carry the double. This is what we like. The double's always better. I don't know. Anyway, Whoppers? I mean, malted milk balls. I could totally do without this. Kind of gross. Heath bars are great. Thin, kind of crunchy, toffee interior. Really good. Milk duds, I could do without. And a single Rolo, I mean, Rolos aren't bad, but we have better caramel chocolates. And then of course, with a Reese's, maybe the king of chocolates, I don't know. It's up there with the top 3 for me. Small cup is fine. You want the full-size cup if you can get the full-size cup. You pop them in the fridge, it's a beautiful thing. Although the small cup is fine, it's the shapes, like the pumpkin Reese's, I start to have a problem with. Something's off. They're just not the same. It's just not as good in my opinion. This bag doesn't make the list. I love a Sour Patch Kid and I love a Twizzlers. This one gives me a full-size Reese's. These look a little tiny. Maybe they're not full size, but they're cups. My Kit Kats, Twizzlers, and the Sour Patch Kids. So I got the soft and the chewy, the sour, and the chocolatey. Sour Patch Kids really hit the spot. So now we know we like this bag. Very similar to this bag, and we know we only got one problem with this bag, and that's Almond Joy. We take a real heavy notch down on this bag simply because it contains Almond Joy. So to me, here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to bite the Almond Joy bullet and just assume some kid's gonna like it. I think it's disgusting, but I'm not everybody. And I'm going to have to veto this bag because not only does it have Sour Patch Kids, it also gives you Swedish Fish and the watermelon. If you know anything about sour candy, the watermelons are far and away the best. So that means I'm sacrificing my love of Twizzlers, getting this bag out of here, and now I'm gonna keep these 2 for sure. Now we've got 2 more bags. If I had my way, I'm keeping all 5 of these bags, but we only need 4 today. And so we have to decide, do we want the Snickers, the Twix, the Milky Ways, and the M&Ms? Or do we want the Hershey's and the Reese's? I happen to like me a little bit of these little guys. I like the Hershey's Kisses, and I like the Crackle. But the Crackle is the same as the Crunch Bar. The Crackle and the Crunch Bar, they're the same thing. If anything, the Crunch Bar has way more crunchies in the back than the Hershey's Crackle does. For that reason, and the fact that though these might be good chocolates, they're not too exciting, so they don't make the cut. That means we're settling on this guy. The Milky Way, the Snickers, the M&Ms. We know what M&Ms taste like. We got the Snickers Minis. I wish they were not the mini. I wish they were a little bit bigger than these. The minis I don't like, but I do like the variety. And for me, the big seller is the Twix. Again, I'd like the Twixes to be, a bigger size, but the key is like a well-diversified portfolio. You want diversity and exposure across all flavors of candy on Halloween. It's so good. So this is the winning combination for me. This is what I'm gonna be serving to my trick-or-treaters this Halloween. If you made me choose one of these, I wouldn't be able to. I don't know if I could have Kit Kats and Reese's without Butterfingers, or a Twix bar without sour watermelon. I just don't know if I could live with myself. So please do yourself a favor this Halloween. Think about the candies you're gonna get. Don't blindly go there. The kids are judging you. If you don't come with the fire, they just don't care about your house. And maybe that's a strategy for you. It's a good repellent strategy, but if you want the love and the adoration that the kids are gonna give out to houses, you better bring some heat. And this is what I'm bringing. Had a crazy week, needed to do a little bit of a different video this week, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a fun one. If not, then sorry. See you next week. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself. For more Halloween videos, I've got a few more on the screen, like this Puking Pumpkin, which is a combination of a fun recipe and a fun pumpkin carving project. You're gonna love it.